Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a great day. I'm here with my Kuretake palette. This is the Art Nouveau and I wanted to do something a little bit autumn themed because that is really what time of year we're in, and I love my autumn and I love my leaves. So first I'm going to go into this Venetian red and I'm going to get a pretty nice brush load, and this is just such a gorgeous color. And actually I am going to activate some of these colors a bit with my sprayer. Just a light spray in each one, and it will just help me get the paint out when I'm ready. Just a few drops will do it. So I'm going to do just some simple shapes on here, mostly earth tones. And I think I'm going to do this Venetian red as sort of a base with some nice dark values. And this is a really gorgeous kind of red brown here. Now I'm going to dip my brush into some water and just let this flow out a bit. I don't want all hard lines. And then I'm going to drop a little bit more into some of these wet areas so that it can flow. And I might get a little bit of cauliflower here. That's totally fine with me. Next, I'm going to go into this yellow brown, which is a little bit less red, still very earthy. And I'm just kind of playing around with my brush. I'm pushing and pulling. And when you kind of let it come down on the belly and then lift it up, you can deposit some nice pigment there on the page. And so I'm just having some fun with my brush and letting it make some marks that we can put some doodles or something on later. Now I'm going to lighten it up now and go up here to my flax beige. And this is another nice neutral color. And I'm leaving some of my white spots in here. I like that contrast, but I'm just going to keep going around, adding color. And making just a general shape. Now I'm into the ecru beige. And this is the lightest color. And we can kind of come in here and add another layer of color on there. Okay, now I've got this really nice neutral sort of background here. And I've got some darks, I've got some lights, but what I really want is a nice bright color. And that is where vermilion is going to come in. Now with this one, I'm going to be pretty sparing. And I'm going to try to find some areas near where the dark and light kind of come together. And so in this region, I'm going to deposit some of that bright vermilion color. And it's going to blend some with my other color, but I'll still be able to get some good payoff here with that bright orange. I'm going to also put some along here and maybe even kind of come up into a shape a bit so that I'm not just doing a line like that. And again, I'm going to just press my brush down and let it come out. And I'm going to add one more spot of color down here. Just like that. And now I'm going to let everything dry. All right, I'm back and we are all dry. I want to add just a couple more little things to this. And I want to do some leaves, but I want to do kind of a nice dark contrasting color and also a little bit of a green. And so I'm going to go into this shadow green color, which is a really nice dark green color. And I'm going to just put some leaves on this so that we have a bit of the red and green kind of contrast going on here, and it still keeps its really nice autumn look, but we have just some nice little elements on here. So I'm going to start in by putting in some simple stems, just like that. Then I'm going to start adding in my watercolor leaves, and you can see this really nice dark color here. And I'm just going to make sure I get a good paint load on my brush. I'm going to add a little bit more water to my pan so that it's easier to work with, but I'm going to make sure to get nice saturated dark green leaves. So I'm going straight into the pan for that. Now when these dry, you're still going to get a little bit of that background color coming through, and that is just fine. And I'm just going slowly, making sure I get the shapes the way I want them. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, and you can vary the sizes of your leaves. And I'm still debating on putting in a second color on this. I may do something with black, possibly maybe a dark brown. I'm still just sort of looking at this to see what I might like to add. But I'll just do one thing at a time for now. And this is just one of those really easy projects that you can relax with and just have fun with the watercolor on your brush. And this is a perfect base if you wanted to do any doodles or anything like that, or any other kind of mark making on top here. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to point this one down a bit because I don't really want it to come off the page, and I don't want to shrink it so much where it might just not look right with the rest of all the elements. And I like that. I think I want one more coming off of the bottom here just to even it out a bit, because my leaves are kind of top heavy, and I think that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to let this dry, and then let's see if we want to add anything else to it. All right, I think on this one I just want to add a few little black doodle marks, and I'm going to maybe do a couple of little hollow leaves, just like that. And I'm going to put them in just a few little places. And we just get a little bit of a sketchy look to it that I really like. And I might go around some of these a couple of times just to strengthen that line a little bit more and increase that contrast. And I think that looks pretty good. And then I might grab one of my white pens. I think I might get a different one. All right, I'm going to add just a few little dots around the outside of some of these leaves. Just simple little marks. But it'll just add a little element of pattern and hard edge and some contrast, and just give you a little something else to look at. And I'm just going around the outside of one edge, and that's all I'm gonna do on this one. And I usually say that and then I end up not meaning it, but for this one I do. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to give you the close-up here. And the little pen marks and stuff, you don't have to add those. You can keep this very simple if you like. But I hope you enjoyed this today, doing this with me. You can use any watercolors you have on hand. I use this palette because I wanted to grab it and do a couple things with it today, but use whatever supplies you have, and you can make a really beautiful little autumn colored painting with some leaves and a pretty background. So hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more like this. And until next time, keep creating.